is a nice one.
Yeah.
Very peaceful and calm.
Good.
Did you have a haircut, Alex?
Actually, I haven't been in so long, so I took the scissors to myself.
Good job.
I surprised
Me too. I was
myself.
trimming my hair yesterday myself.
You did good. And my hairdresser just called me or texted me and said, "We're back."
After the cut.
That's okay. She loves it. I always chop something, and she goes, "I'll fix it."
Hey, Hector.
Hector,
Hi,
yay.
Hello.
Hi, Hector.
Hi, how are
Hi,
you?
everybody.
Very good.
Hi,
Hi,
everyone.
everybody.
Hi, Diane.
Jelly.
Jelly.
Hi, Julie.
Wendy.
Hi, Lee. Alex.
Lee.
Julie.
Hi.
Yay.
Julie.
Hi, Julie.
And Wendy.
Hi.
Hi.
Julie. Hi, Julie.
Hi, Julie.
Hi, Julie.
Gary. Jan.
Hi, Jan.
Hi, Julie. Hi, everybody.
Oh, there's
Hi,
Jan.
Julie.
Hi, Jan.
Hello, Jen.
Sunny.
Hi, Sunny.
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 Oh, hi,
Hey,
Sunny.
Donna's here. Yay.
Hi, Donna.
Hi.
Lorraine, did you call Bernadette?
Not yet.
Okay.
I need to do it now. Yes.
Yes.
So you're on him, Julie.
Hey, happy Father's Day to all the fathers in the group.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, happy
Happy
Father's
Father's
Day.
Happy Father's Day to all the fathers.
Hey,
Exactly. We
Hey, to
all
all
have
of
our
us.
fathers too, like Julie said.
We all say father.
Yes. Some of us have been the fathers and the mothers.
That's right.
Yep.
Probably most of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Hopefully Bernadette's coming.
Wow, so much new information in the last 2 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely.
A lot of good things are happening.
Yes.
Yes.
I had to start writing down my questions.
There you go.
Yes.
Good for you, Jan.
If you have to write them down, they're probably divine.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just so you know it, because remember, divine is thought, brain, consciousness, right?
Right. Good to
And
know.
they are all delayed.
Mm-hmm.
Quantum is instant, uses, what does it use?
Hello.
Hey, Diana.
Hi, Diane.
Yay.
Hi, Diane.
And
Hi, Diana.
Hello.
Oh, hi,
Hey, Bernadette.
Bernadette.
consciousness uses.
Hi,
Quantum entanglement. Brain.
Exactly. And
Thank
this,
you.
People are still missing.
hi, Bernadette.
Hi, Visa.
And
Hi,
Bernadette
Hi,
was
Alexandra.
asking, was told by me that numerology, you don't change anything. Well, you don't change anything when you are on the other side of the quantum threshold. When you have crossed the quantum threshold, numerology is hardly numerology anymore. It's really part of the one formula. And remember, the formula is numbers, and then you can expand that to letters. But it's one precise formula, and we're all one. And it is all explained with the formula.
Wow.
So it's totally different. People are so foolish using their consciousness, their thought, their brain. It's pathetic.
Yeah, it's not helpful.
But zillions do it.
Not helpful.
And that's what you're really doing. And it's just pathetic. That's all I can say.
But that free love thing, there were numbers associated with that.
Oh, of course. But as you have crossed the threshold, all 33 of on that list, and things are. It's like pre-kindergarten versus post-PhD. You went from pre-kindergarten to post-PhD.
I like that growth.
It is great
Indeed.
growth.
When's the graduation date? In 1,000 days.
Isn't graduation June 1st, 2016? That's when we reached the threshold, right?
This is strange.
That's when the threshold became possible.
Okay.
Before that, it wasn't possible. And then it had to be tested for 1,000 days. And then it had to be no errors for an additional year, which was the 16th of June last year. Then, during the 9.5-hour meeting on the stage here, 40 individuals, we chose, hi Diana,
Hi.
we chose to do a non-destructive restart of humanity.
Yippee!
Before that, it was 13,500 years earlier, and we plowed it under and started over. And we had two types of cavemen. We didn't even know we're always experimenting. So, in a way, we restarted, and we started over with two types of cavemen.
Two types.
Two types.
Explain.
And, pardon me?
Explain the two types. Can you?
Cro-Magnon and
Oh, one that draws and one that writes.
In a way, that's about it.
Okay. That's how I saw it.
And then you had various things hidden away. Like Plato wrote 36 books. That is Judy. And Judy is among it. But Judy didn't know because we're restarting. So she restarted, I restarted, I didn't know. And if I did know,
You're breaking up, honey. We can't hear the words.
I would say, we don't have quantum strength yet.
Yes.
And so I would have continued with that. And I did continue with that until June 1st, 2016. Yes, let's go back a little further. Now, talk about it right now. There are 33 of us, and we have crossed over the quantum threshold, and we're the first graduating class.
Yes.
Yay.
That's what we are.
Wow.
And so, the brain, the thought, the mind, consciousness, those four anything we're doing with them is wrong, basically. Sure, like a broken clock is right twice a day.
Yep.
But there are 86,400 seconds each day. We don't make errors because we understand everything. We have crossed the quantum threshold. And now we're just filling out everything. You do this, that happens. You do that, this happens. And that's a process, and it takes a while.
Fill in the gaps.
Yeah, right. And then you eliminate the gaps because you realize there aren't any. There are no gaps in quantum.
No space force.
That's why it takes 18 to 22 quarters. If you go real fast, there's a lot of what are now gaps or you're not even aware of it, to the point where you're aware of everything, and everything becomes analog. Nothing is left that is digital.
That's why it is so important that when we have questions, Peter, I feel that it is so important that we ask you these questions directly, because you don't use your mind, consciousness, brain, or thought, and you only share quantum truths, and there are no distortions coming from you. So we can go in the right direction if we ask you the questions. So I wanted to thank you for doing these calls every week and openly inviting us to call you if we have questions. I really appreciate that.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Peter.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks, Peter. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, there's about 100 that are really use the website every day. And then the current spiking is over 300. But humanity, mind, thought, brain, conscience, are lazy. And basically they get all fired up for 1 or 2 days, and you spike to over 300, then they all go away. It's really funny.
That's human nature.
Yeah. But
I wanted to say something on Judy's comment and congratulate each one of the 33. Without our questions, we couldn't grow and know as a group. So I want to say thank you to every single person, including myself.
yeah, that's exactly right.
Thank you.
Thank you,
And
Diana.
That's one of the
Yeah.
reasons it's 33. And it's that simple.
It's that simple.
So
I try to make it complicated and it goes right back to simple. And I'll say,
yeah.
oh yeah.
That's exactly right. It does. And it's fun for me. I'll make some changes, and I don't advertise them. And yet I know they're being read because for Alex is the most recent example. At the near the top of the Daily Intents webpage, there's been a change. and it was obvious she read Joyce retired, Joyce Barker.
Wow.
So I took her name out and put a complete list in, and somebody who has studied that list is Alex. And she found something and sent that recent post, including a picture to all of you. That is really cool from my point of view.
Thank you.
Good job.
I thought it was really cool that you brought up brought up essential oils, because I have loved them for a long time. They're a simple, easy, healthy thing to use.
Young Living has been doing essential oils for 40 years, 30 years. And they kind of were the founders.
No, they were not. The founders were in France of using essential oils. You have to have at least a 4-year degree in France before you can prescribe essential oils.
Good to know.
Yeah. The owner of Young Living has been sued twice by the government because he was telling him on his website and promoting that he had a PhD degree in this, and he didn't. He was not a medical doctor. So that was proven false twice.
Wow.
So roughly what time frame, Diane?
Oh, this was at least 10 years ago, I want to say, when that all blew up. So for a long time, I didn't trust. I use essential oils through my work as a therapist. That company, they did not even do outside testing of their product. So when you bought it, you couldn't guarantee it was purity or it was a therapeutic grade. Yeah. That's what I know.
I started to use essential oils in the mid-70s.
Mm-hmm.
And Young Living is what I used in the mid-70s. And I still have some of them. So they've been good. I didn't know about some of those other things.
The history.
Diana, sorry.
Yes, Judy.
Oh, no, I was saying Diana Cairo and Julie Kunkel, I think they're in the essential oil business too.
Well,
I am too, but it's doTERRA, not
doTERRA.
Yeah, and
right?
Lee. All three
and
of us.
Lee.
All three of us have gotten involved in doTERRA, and one of the actually a few of the original people that got involved in Young Living ended up leaving and starting their own because they weren't happy with a lot of things based on the founder. There was a lot of issues with how a female on the board was being treated, and she became one of the founders with these other 2 or 3 gentlemen. They went to doTERRA, and doTERRA has outside sourcing, gets all their oils from where they originally grow, far better purity and efficacy of compared to Young Living. But Young Living is still a very good product. It's just that doTERRA, and we compared them, is a better product in my opinion. Well, that's good to know.
So,
Thank you for sharing that.
When did you start them?
When did I start using essential oils?
Mm-hmm.
I probably started like 10 years ago, but I learned about doTERRA through actually a family member who was involved in it. And prior to that time, I had Young Living, also had another organic brand. I really, both seemed to work fine, but I really loved the doTERRA brand, and Lee, Julie, and I all got involved in it, and were really, and still, or I can speak for myself, really enjoy using the product, but I wanted it more to support my clients that I was using, just to have something physically and emotionally to support them. So it wasn't my thing that I wanted to sell it and market it and be part of that. Neither was it Julie's or Lee's, but we really, enjoyed learning more about it and being able to use it.
How do you spell it?
doTERRA, doTERRA, TERRA.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Well, what about Denisa Lynn? Do you remember when she had some essential oils? And there was a French lady.
Yes,
Yes.
Marie Alejandre.
Yeah, I have a lot from her. They're very
I
good.
liked those oils.
They're very nice.
Yes.
Very
Are
nice.
they
Yeah.
good? Do you know, Diana? Cairo?
Yes,
Do you know?
I have them. I have
Yes.
them. They're excellent.
Yeah, and
Excellent.
Marie was at one of the meet and greets, and she had some special oils, and she did a lot of unique combining of the oils, which was awesome because
Yes.
it was not just like you're ordering something. She could make it for you based on what your needs were.
Wow.
Her
Personalized.
her
Yes.
family history went back. That's all they did.
Yes.
That's all they did back like 100 years.
Egypt.
Yeah, their family. How do you say that history went all the way back, and that's what their names meant. So
Yeah.
their stuff was nice. I've gotten some stuff from Plant Therapy. I like that. I'm going to try the doTERRA. So there's some good stuff out there. The only reason why I didn't stick with Young Living is because I just always got a funny feeling that it was always about the money.
Yes. And secrecy, which I didn't care for with Young Living.
Yeah, secrets are not quantum. In quantum, there are no secrets. It's advancement. And if somebody has a better way to do it, share it.
Well, and just look at Big Pharma came out. I mean, any of these essential oils, it's nature's pharmacy. And look at how Big Pharma has made all this money on things that we actually have in nature and can pay such a fraction of the price in the truth of what it is. You know, that's unbelievable to me. Yeah. Getting back to the truth.
Yes.
Yes.
It's good.
Yeah, another really nice thing is other than essential oils, that's it. Everything else, quantum can do it.
Nice.
I couldn't have said that until June 1st, 2016. But that was the last piece. And it took us 9,500 supercycles to develop quantum strength. 9,500. The first 5 we didn't need it because we only used 1. But then we said we can't be quantum without quantum strength. And so we said, well, how do you do that? And it took us a long time, but we did it. And it's been tested for 1,000 days. That was February 26th, 2019. And then we went another year to be sure. And that was the 25th of last year. And now we're sure. So, but we don't automatically have it, do we? That is choice, self-choice. And we can ignore it, or we can embrace it. And our magnificence is not saying there's no bias.
Mhm.
See, that's the beauty, to me, of quantum. There is no bias. It's totally, totally, totally up to each one of us to choose. And any choice is fine. There's no bias to the choice. It's each one of us. It's like we're still one. That's very powerful.
Yes.
So if we want to reject quantum strength, we can do it. If I want to reject quantum strength, I can do it. If Alex wants to accept quantum strength, she can do it. Everybody self chooses. That's incredibly powerful.
Yes.
That's the power of self-choice.
Yes.
And free will.
It's amazing.
So you're saying it is there and it is up to us whether we want it or not?
Correct. It's there.
It's
It wasn't there, but it is now. But if any of us want to reject it, we can reject it.
Does it take a lot of strength to reject it?
Every one of us is different. That's the power of it.
I actually experienced it with Peter's help when I forgot about quantum strength for a few hours, and I was reading some of the doom and gloom that was coming our way.
Oh.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
So one quick call and a reminder, and it was all done.
Wow.
Yes. So
Very helpful.
yes. And reach out to Peter, people, with your questions, as Judy was saying.
Lorraine, we can't see your face.
I can.
I can.
I can.
I
I'm
cannot
there.
see you.
I can see.
can.
I see him.
Okay.
I'm not No, I'm seeing myself on the screen. So
Yeah, I cannot
I
see
do
you.
know. I do notice sometimes I'll have a question, and then I'll have a question, and then I'll have a question, and then I'll write it down, and then it just disappears. So I don't have a question anymore.
Yeah, I know what you
But-
mean.
I can't even explain that part of it. So
I think my Magnificent does the same thing, and it's a way of telling me my question is not necessary.
yeah.
So if I
guess
give it a few minutes, it's like cooking a good dish in the kitchen. Some things I want to, add exotic ingredients and herbs and stuff like that, but it's not necessary because it's perfect the way it is.
yes.
Pure
So
and
I've
simple.
learned that one to hold back a little bit and just wait, and it works.
That's why I repeat so many times thought, brain, mind, and consciousness.
Thank you.
They all have one thing in
Common.
in common. They're electrical. So therefore they have attenuation delay.
And they have bias.
Quantum is instant. And if we're working on something, our magnificence just stays quiet while we're working on it. But once we really understand it, our magnificence says, see how simple it is? See how simple it is? See how simple it is?
Wise. That word wise comes up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maturity.
There is no time. We have 29,500 supercycles in front of us before we start to attenuate. We've only been through 14,500. We got a lot in front of us.
Yes.
A lot of fun, growth, skills, happiness, and no gaps. None. That's all the gum. So, questions?
No delay, everyone. Gosh.
I don't have a question. I just have a very exciting comment to let you know. I've been on the phone a lot this morning on other conference calls. The dealers in foreign currency are holding the dong, the dinar, the rupiah, a bunch of those that are going to RV pretty soon. You can no longer get them. And if you go on their website, some of them say they're back ordered 7 to 10 days because they're holding it and will sell it to you at the higher rate. So it looks really, really good for this to go this week. It looks really good.
That's nice news. Yay.
They did,
yeah. Good.
They did say they would stop selling them when it was really happening. So that's a good. Signpost?
That's a big step. Huge.
That's a signpost.
According to all the sites, it's supposed to happen tomorrow. That's what the sites are saying right now. Is that it's all ready for tomorrow, and all the other tiers have been paid out. That the internet ones are going this week on Tuesday. So we'll see if it happens tomorrow.
I was looking at a video of Trump and Xi, and they didn't today, and they didn't even lock eyes. And that was unusual for Xi, because he'll normally make eye contact, but he didn't today.
Who is Xi?
President of China.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Interesting.
I thought you would have known that, Judy.
Yeah, I do.
I say it differently. So,
What's the right way?
Judy, how do you say it?
That is
Xi
cute.
Jinping. Xi Jinping.
Chi.
Xi Jinping.
The signs,
Ah.
the signs are good for the RV.
Yay.
It doesn't mean anything except they're better than they have been.
Mm-hmm.
And using social media, the late teens have really, they're voting. Yet they're not eligible to vote until they're 21. So that's kind of neat too.
What age?
Pardon me?
Peter? What age? What age can the
17 to 20.
17? So
Yeah. That's the group, 17 to 20.
they're taking more responsibility then.
Exactly. And they're using TikTok.
TikTok.
Oh, the TikTok.
So certainly things are encouraging, but divine, obviously people read that and it's pathetic compared to what we're talking about, quantum. But that's really fabulous news for you guys.
Yes.
That's what it boils down to.
Yes.
And crossing through the quantum threshold. That's enormous. And most of you just see and you're feeling you're doing it yourself. I mean, there is no light. There's a heart. So anybody that doesn't see number 5 as heart isn't seeing things. There's number 6, which is quantum strength. And that's your 1 through 6. No, new, balance, multiples, heart, strength. That's it. So that's the 6. The others are
Add-ons.
add-ons. That's exactly right.
And Peter,
Yes.
does it mean there's only one quantum heart also?
There really is.
Huh?
Yeah, you all you really have done is gone to multiples.
Yes.
Heart is a combination of physical and quantum,
Yes.
and strength is pure quantum. There's nothing in that. That's just like 1, 2, and 3. And 4. Five is both, and 6. There's a quantum part, 5. And strength, quantum strength, there's no physical part. So the only real physical part is part of heart.
None of the numbers have a hierarchy. None of these are more important than the other. They're all balanced. Is that correct?
They're all different. The numbers, there's one huge formula. So true numbers are all numbers, and they're all interrelated. And they describe the part of heart that's physical. They also describe the part, they describe all of know, all of new, all of balance, all of magnificence, all of male, female. Part of heart, 2 parts of heart, 1 part, and the non-quantum part, and all of strength. So if you divided them into the quantum part and the hard part, there would only be one part of the six is physical.
Please say that, Peter.
And they're all related. There's the quantum part, it's all quantum. There's a new part, it's all quantum. There's a balanced part, it's all quantum. There is a multiples part, it's all quantum. There is a heart part that's quantum, and a heart part that's physical.
Yeah.
And then there's a drink. It's all quantum.
Mm-hmm.
So you can take this to the 6 and make it a 7 by saying, okay, there is a part, a physical part, and a quantum part. So when you cross through, back through, return to quantum, you're going from 6 to 7.
Six to 7.
And all you've done is activate your quantum, your heart part is quantum.
Mm-hmm.
So you've activated the quantum part that is the heart.
The quantum part of the heart.
And when you pass back through the threshold, your heart, quantum heart, activate.
That's really nice, yes.
Yeah.
When you say the heart is the portal to quantum, which part are you referring to, Peter?
Quantum part.
Okay.
It's a portal to readiness. Peter, it feels to me that so all the portals are in the heart, but the feedback loop runs from the pineal gland back to magnificence. Is that right?
Yeah.
So the communication has a triangular loop here.
Judy, you'll have to do a diagram.
Yeah, I just got a knot in my head.
You'll have to.
The heart portal, once you go back through, you're returning to quantum, and you've crossed the threshold, then your 6 subdivides. Remember, we're basically doing an input-output grid. The 33 have returned to quantum. It's the heart portal is no longer a portal. It's part of you, and it is part of your heart.
Yes.
Before, it's part of you, but it was remote.
Okay.
So,
Yes.
bottom line, you're more simple.
Yeah. Well, I've always known that. Cosmic joke there.
And a good one again.
So, notice that as you learn more, it constantly becomes more, not
Yeah.
more.
Yes,
Definitely.
that is true.
That's amazing.
Today, in a sense, you've gone from 7 to 6. Before your heart part that it was quantum was remote. Now your heart part, which is quantum, is with you because you're now back with the quantum threshold. That's why you've gone to 6. So in January, when we crossed over the threshold, you went from 7 to 6.
Yay.
Okay?
Yay.
Yay is right. So we've gone 45 minutes. Any other questions?
Wow.
Not too much of a delay. That's it, Peter.
Yeah, I guess party time till next week.
Yeah, next week is
Wednesday.
29th and then the 1st.
Yes.
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 2 falls next week. Yes.
Yay.
Yes.
Monday and Wednesday. So
Monday, Wednesday.
Okay.
unless
Cool.
anybody doesn't want to call on the 1st.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, I
I'm
enjoy
in.
connecting. Yes.
Yeah.
Yay.
It's like the dog was putting her vote in too.
Yeah, she didn't need any delay, did she?
Hey guys, I saw a really good movie on Amazon. It's a true story. It's called, wait a minute, I wrote it down. Ride Like a Girl. It's about Australia, the Melbourne Cup. She's the first girl who ever won it. She just reminded me of all of us because nobody believed in her hardly, but she never gave up and she kept trying. She probably broke like 16 bones. The horse might have broke 16 bones, but long story short, she won the Melbourne Cup.
Yay!
And her dad told her, when you see the gap, and she kept looking for this gap. And the race that she won, there was this gap, and he says it'll be over in an instant. And she went through that gap, and it closed, and she won the race. It was really cool to feel that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good
Yay.
movie.
You
Ride
felt
Like
the-
a Girl.
Yeah.
Repeat the title.
Ride Like a Girl.
Okay.
She was a jockey. Ride Like a Girl. She was one of 10 children.
Wow.
Gosh.
Wow.
You found her
Thank
place.
you.
Had 10 children?
One of 10 children. And her
Wow.
mom died. She didn't get to
she
know her
was
mom.
one of 10.
One amazing movie.
Wow.
Especially because it was for real.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
And also 10 children.
10
Yes.
children.
10 is a 1.
Someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
A lot of strength in that.
Yeah.
We're all 1.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So 1 is the prime number.
Yes.
Yeah.
And for 5,000 years, that's all we did was 1. And how did we do 1? We did it by 2s. So
Two or more?
Who's?
2s, male and female. that's what it became.
Yeah.
Originally, it was just 2, because you need 2 points of view. So you had quantum singularity and you had quantum form. So the 2 focus became the 1. And then when you got to multiples, you went the other way, but you used 2.
Yeah.
Right? So it's always been the 2 to expand.
Yeah.
And the 1 being the prime number.
Good call.
Yay for
Yeah.
one. Great thought.
And that, of course, fits back very nicely once we return for the quantum threshold. Because it's 2 of us. We just team up. So that's what we're doing. We're going from expansion back to simplicity of 2.
Great formula, Peter.
Pardon me?
Great formula.
Thank you, Diane.
1, 2, 2, 2, 1. Yay.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yay.
Add a 3 and you have a feedback loop and a triangle. Yes.
Yay.
Yes.
Julie's picture, I'm waiting for it.
Thank you.
Thank you
Peter.
all.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you
you.
all.
Thank you.
Nice
Have a
evening.
wonderful week, everybody.
And
Thank
you
you.
too.
See you on Monday.
See ya. See ya.
Have a
See ya.
wonderful
Bye.
week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Love you.
everybody.
Love
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Bye. Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
I see you.
Yes. We're being so silly.
The unfortunate at work.
Just be a kid.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Love you.
Bye.
I love you too.
Love you.
Uh-oh.
I'm